Welcome to the third episode of our Blazer Suit Masterclass. In the previous episode, I showed you guys how to draft the front panel of a blazer suit pattern and also the center piece. If you are yet to watch that video, kindly check the description area below for the link to the video. And in today's episode, we proceed by drafting the back panel and also connect the back panel together with the center piece. And also, I will be showing you how to construct the front shawl collar and also how to add the same allowances on the remaining parts of the pattern. I would like you guys to know I'm putting a lot of resources together in giving out valuable content for free on this platform. And all I need from you guys is to encourage me by watching ads on my videos. Please don't skip those ads because that is the only way I get rewarded here on YouTube. With that being said, let's proceed. So guys, we will proceed in drafting the back panel. We've drafted the front panel and we drafted the center piece. Okay, so here I draw out some of the lines I will be using. Firstly, I extended all the vertical lines I have on my papers to this side of the pattern paper so that there will be a guide for me in drafting the back panel. So firstly, I extended the starting point line. So here is the starting point line. As you can see, I labeled it as a starting point. Okay, the chest level, I extended it outward. The waist level, I extended it outward. The suit length, I extended it, and the hemline, I extended it as well. So these are the vertical lines I have on the back panel. So this side is going to be the center back of the back panel, while this side is going to be the side of the back panel. The side of the back panel has to be beside the center piece. Okay, so this is the center panel. So this has to be by the side. They have to be side to side. Okay, so what I did is I draw a straight line, which is going to be a border line for the side. Like so, I just measured a certain amount from the edge of the pattern paper. I measured it to this point. It can be any point. I just left a little space in between this so that we'll be able to differentiate the back panel from the front panel easily. You can see the shape you are seeing here. That is the vent allowance I have on the center piece. Now I will start the drafting by inserting the 2 inches which I used in drafting the vent allowance. So I will be creating a vent allowance on the back panel as well. So here is the side. So on the suit length point, I will insert 2 inches like so. So I'll measure the length, which is 2 inches, which is 8 inches. Sorry. Okay, so from the suit length to this point is 8 inches. So here is 8 inches. Then I will be connecting the 2 points together. So on this line, I will measure 2 inches for the vent allowance. So now I will be connecting the 2 points together like so, and I will extend it downward to get to the hemline. Okay, so now I have the vent allowance created on the back panel. So the next step is to construct the neckline. Okay, in constructing the neckline, I will be moving this line forward by 1 inch. So that's the center back line. Now I've moved the center back line forward by 1 inch and I have the line drawn out as a straight line. So all the measurements I will be taking will start from this line and not from this point again. So now I will be inserting the neck width measurement which has to be the same with that of the front. So I use 3.5 inches for the neck width, and I'll be using the same 3.5 inches for the back panel as well. Okay, then I'll be inserting the neck depth. So which I'll be using 1.5 inches. So by the time I add my seam allowance, I will end up having 1 inch. Okay, so I will still be taking this up when I'm adding my seam allowance. So I'll be using 1.5 inches. And I will connect it like so. So from the center back, I will measure 1.5 inches forward. So which is there. So now I'll be connecting the 2 points together like so. And as you can see, the curved side of my ruler is facing downward, as you can see. Now that I've constructed the neckline, the next step is to construct the armhole. In constructing the armhole, the first thing I will be doing is to move the chest level upward by 1 inch. This is because when I was constructing the front neckline, I moved it upward by 1 inch, like so, if you can recall. So for that purpose, I will be moving the chest level upward by 1 inch on the back panel as well. Okay, so this is no more the chest level, this is going to be the chest level. So that is the new 1 inch line. Okay, so on this line, I will be inserting 1/4 of the chest circumference measurement. Don't forget, when I was drafting the front panel, I told you the chest circumference measurement is 38 inches and I subtracted 6 inches from 38, in which I have 32 inches left. Okay, so I will be dividing 32 inches by 4 and I have 8 inches. So from the center back on the 1 inch point, I will measure 8 inches forward. So which is here. Then I will be adding 1/2 inch as his. So together I have 8.5 inches. So just the same way I inserted it on the front panel. So I will not be using this point, I will be making use of this point. Okay. Then on the starting point line, I will insert half of the back measurement. Half of the back measurement I'm working with is 8.5 inches. So just to be very sure, I want to confirm this on the front panel. So now I have 8.5 inches for the back measurement confirmed. Okay, now I'll be extending this downward, but on the chest level I have the same 8.5 inches, so I don't need to insert the back measurements again. So I will just connect the 2 points together like so. And I will have something like this. So on the armhole line, I will come down by 1.5 inches in order to slant the shoulder line. Okay, so I'll be connecting these points to the neck width point. So after slanting the shoulder line, Then I will get the midpoint I have left from the shoulder point to the chest level. So here I have 7 inches. So that is from this point to the new chest level. So the midpoint is 3.5. Then I will extend it inward a little towards the center back. Okay, then in constructing the back armhole for blazer suits, I will come in by 1/2 inch on this point. Okay, so that is all I'll be using in constructing the back armhole, because I've used 1 3/4 for the front armhole. Now in constructing the back armhole, you can see I have the chest measurement exactly on the back measurement, which is not enough. So I will be adding 1/2 inch to this. From this point, I will measure 1/2 inch forward, like so. So now I will be able to construct the armhole. The difference between the front and the back armhole for blazer suits is the front armhole is usually deeper than the back armhole, and the difference is much, unlike the regular native pattern. So now I will be connecting the 2 points together like so. Now that I'm done constructing the back armhole, the next step is to construct the waistline, in which I will be inserting the waist circumference measurements. So the waist circumference measurements I'm working with in this tutorial is 34 inches. And when I was doing the calculation in the first episode, I subtracted 6 inches from 34, in which I have 28 inches left. So 28 divided by 4, I have 7. So here I will be inserting 7 inches. Seven inches, which is there. Okay, so now I'm not adding that allowance, so I will not be plotting that at the center of the back panel. The dart will be at the back. Okay, so instead of plotting that, I will be shaping the center back. So I will not be plotting that at the center of the back panel. So after inserting the waist measurements, which is here, okay, so the next step is to insert the hip measurement on the suit length. I will be confirming the measurement I have from this point to the vent point. If the measurement is not enough, I will be adjusting it, either moving it backward or forward. Okay. The quarter of the hip circumference I'm working with is 8.5 inches. So what I have here up to this point is more than 8.5 inches, so I will just mark the point like so. 8.5 inches. So I will leave it aside, so I'll be coming back to adjust the vent allowance. So now the next step is to construct the side seam. So I'll be connecting from the chest point to the waist point. Like so. I'll be using the straight side of my curve ruler, though this is not completely straight, but I'm still having a slight curve. Okay, so I've connected from the chest level to the waist level. So before connecting to the vent point, I will be moving the vent point to this marked point. So I will measure the distance I have in between. So what I have is 1/2 inch. So here as well, I will measure 1/2 inch forward. And I will connect the 2 points together. So I will extend this line to get to that point. Okay, so I will clean this up. So that is the former line I have there. Then I will take the measurement of 2 inches forward again. So this is the new line I drew. So I'm taking the 2 inches for the vent allowance again, like so. Then I will connect the 2 points together. So can you see what I have now? So this is my vent allowance now. I've adjusted it. So with this, I can connect the waistline to connect to the vent point. So the next step is to shape the center back. This is because our center back is not on a straight line, and because it is a suit, I have to shape the center back in such a way it will fit in with the shape I have on the woman figure. So for this reason, I will be taking away like 3/4 from the measurement I have on the waist level. So just pay a closer attention to this. So this is the center back. Okay, so this is the measurement I have for the waist from this point to this point. So from this point, which is the center back, I will measure 3/4, that is 0.75. Okay, so that is a point. Then I will reconnect this point to the neck point. So can you see what I have for the back? And I will also take this downward to the hemline. So with this, the back will not be on a straight line. So that is the center back. Okay, so this is what I have for the center back now. Is no more on a straight line. So this is the same thing as a bunch we usually take away from the center back of a female wear. Okay, so now that I've taken 3/4 from here, don't forget that is my real measurement. I have to return it back to the side so that I will not have a shortage. So what I took is 3/4. So on the waistline by the side, I will insert the same 3/4. That's 0.75. So here is a point. Then I will reconnect to the vent point. Okay, I've reconnected to the vent point, and I will also reconnect this to the armhole point. So can you see what I have? This is the former line I drew. Now this is a new line. In order not to get you confused, I will clean up the old line. Then at the center back as well, this is a straight line I drew earlier. I will clean it up in order not to get you confused. So now I have my center back now. As you can see, it is not on a straight line, and I have the side as well. It is not on a straight line. Now I have to confirm the measurements I have here in order to be sure what I have there is accurate. So what I have here is a little bit lesser than the real measurement, but on the hemline I have the real measurement, so which is okay. So I'll just leave that like so. and I will proceed in the drafting of the back panel.